Hello, today I would like to show you how to record conversions per event done on a lander level in Volume. Why is it important? In many cases, customers have some custom events or behaviors which they would like to measure for their visitors before redirecting to an actual offer. And Volume actually measures those clicks from lander to the offer, and it just displays it in this clicks column. Why is it not enough in some cases? Because to those clicks we cannot attribute any additional parameters or values. Also, we cannot perform any dynamical automatic action for clicks itself. So, if we wish to, for example, let our partners, affiliates, or traffic sources know about those actions performed on the lander, it might be some kind of register form with lead distribution, some clicks on certain buttons, etc. Then, in order to do so, we need to register those clicks or those behaviors as conversions in Volume. And one more tricky part, as you probably already know, Volume by default generates a click ID only on the offers level, and the click ID is necessary in order to record a conversion. So once we create our custom conversion, in my case it is called lander click, and it is in here. I've created this parameter CLK for it, and I've marked to included in conversions column, included in revenue column if I want it, and also to send post back to traffic source. So we can specify a unique post back to the traffic source whenever this conversion happens. And second thing, as I've mentioned, the click ID is by default generated only on this offers level. So I need to force Volume to generate a click ID for me one step earlier. To do so, I'm just editing my lander URL by adding any parameter equals click ID. So this way, when I get to the lander URL, this will be replaced with an actual value. So now what I need in my Google Tag Manager in order for it to work. First, I need a variable which would capture the click value. I have already created it. It's quite simple. I've already showed how to do it. So it's this variable is the URL query capturing the value of click. Next thing which I need is to set up a trigger. In my case, I wish to fire a postback whenever anyone clicks a call to action button on my landing page and I wish to know which button was clicked actually. So I have a click trigger in here, and I've chosen it to be click on all elements, but then I'm choosing some clicks and that the click URL must contain my volume click URL. This is exactly what I can find in my settings. So actually it's this one, and this is my tracking domain. And as you can see, those are my click URLs. I'm not providing a certain number in my trigger because I wish my postback to be triggered whenever any of click URLs is used. So I'm using only this without the number. So no matter which click URL someone will click, the trigger will be triggered. And also, I want to know which button exactly was clicked. So I will provide this information in my param1, but in order to do so, I also created a data layer variable because my click event creates some certain informations in the data layer, and I have called this data layer variable click URL data layer. I'm using GTM element URL value. So the last thing I needed to do is to set up my tag, which is lander click postback. As you can see, it uses my click trigger all elements containing click URL from volume, and my postback contains first CID, which is for click ID, and it uses my variable URL query click. And my event type is CLK, so what I have predefined in my custom conversions. So whatever I have predefined in here under my custom conversion type, it's in my event type in postback. Next, under param1, I'm capturing the value from the data layer click URL. And as transaction ID, I'm using random number, so it will be fired each time I click with a new random number, so it will not be treated as a duplicate. So now, let's see how it works, and let's go through the preview mode to show you all the background uh, events that will happen when I test it. So I need to copy my campaign URL, and I'm pasting it into the preview mode. So I'm hitting connect, and I'm landing on my landing page. As you can see, I have 3 different buttons in here, redirecting to different offers. So let's see what happens whenever I click one of them. So I'm clicking this button, I'm getting to my offer, and what happens on the Google Manager side. There is a click event recorded. As you can see in my data layer, my GTM element URL equals click2. This is exactly which URL I have clicked. My variable based on my data layer also contains this value, and also this event triggered to fire my tag. It says failed, but it is not true. As you can see, there is my postback template. The CID contains the value of my URL query variable, so it ends with 2 AM. This is exactly how my 2 AM, how my click ID looks like for this lander. There is event type CLK, and the param1 contains exact click URL, and there is a unique transaction ID. So now let's get back to volume and let's refresh my data. There is already a new visit recorded, a new lander click conversion. So let's go to my report and let's go to my conversions report. As you can see, there is 2 AM click ID recorded. For the lander click conversion type, there is a unique transaction ID, and the postback param1 is click2. If I choose different button, let's now click button 3 and button 4, right? As you can see, there are new clicks recorded, but in this case, the element URL contains click 3, and in this case, click 4. Also, my tags which were fired are different, because under param1 I can see now click 3, and here I can see click 4. So let's get back to volume once again, and let's refresh my data. As you can see, for the same click ID, I have different values under param1, so I know which exactly click URL people are most interested in. Also, I can sort my conversions either by click ID, So to see which click URL attracts which visitor, or I can also sort them out by this param1 to see how many visits and actually how many conversions I have per each click URL. So you can see that the click 2 generated 2 conversions and all other only 1. So whenever I'm doing more of this, the statistics of each click increases, which indicates also which button or which offer is most profitable and or most interesting for my visitors. So let's sort it by the number of lander clicks. And as you can see, when I refresh the data just in a moment, it will be here. I can sort by this value and see that the most popular one is click 2, which means my second offer is the most attractive for my visitors. Alright, so that's all for today. Thanks for your attention and bye bye.